Welcome back to Hey Eintracht Frankfurt, the Bundesliga podcast covering everything there is to know in the English language about Eintracht Frankfurt. Welcome back. Appreciate those joining us here in late April, the 21st, as we record here on a Tuesday night. I am Chris, sitting in the middle of Michigan, right here, wrong hand. A couple gentlemen from out east. Same squad we had last time out, I think. John and Matt.
Yeah.
How you guys doing?
Pretty good. Just chilling
Doing
here,
all right.
watching some playoff hockey, as you are, Chris. I know. So
We're not
it's
distracted
a good
at all.
time. Yeah, no,
Despite
not at
our
all.
20-minute hockey conversation before coming on here. But, it's a busy time of year
Yeah.
in and outside of the sports world. That's why we haven't been on here in a bit. But sporting-wise, there's just so much on the calendar right now.
Yeah.
This is a cool time of year, NFL draft. All of our teams are kind of trying to figure out who the hell they are right now. So we won't even touch that one. MLS season's kicked up. Matt, your United team, how do we feel there this year? Are all your teams rebuilding right now?
I think they're in a constant state of rebuilding. So, little known
John,
fact.
how do you feel about what?
Little known fact. DC United's current coach coached former or current Zweite Bundesliga team during the 2016 season by the name of FC Nürnberg. If that rings a
Never
bell.
heard of him.
Yeah.
I've never heard
I
of
think
them.
we'll be mentioning them
I
later
know
in this
him
episode. Right?
way too well.
Yeah.
Chris is an OG FC Nuremberg hater over here.
Wait, he was there 2016?
Yeah, Renee Violet.
That was right after we beat him in the playoff, right?
He was there. He was the coach during the relegation. Yep. So.
Oh yeah,
met
I was
him.
there for that match.
I met him back in January and wearing an Eintracht jersey at a DC United function. He was nice to me. He was cool about it. You know what I mean? He had no hard feelings. So don't know if it would have helped or hurt his career in the long run, but it is what it
That
is
was
now.
the better side in that match too. I mean, we were outplayed in that match. We don't have to revisit a 10-year-old match, but the Haris Seferovic saving our ass late was unexpected. But that's a tough way to go down too. To be relegated and then, by the way, you're going to lose your job too. That's kind of a kick in the nuts.
Yeah, I mean.
All right, let's talk Eintracht here.
Anyways,
it's been a minute. I mean,
Yeah.
Here's the thing: the month of April has been a little busy, but also a little bit dry too. We'll get into that a little bit here with a men's recap. Month of April so far, 3 matches. We're not going to go through them all one by one, but pretty clean: 1 win, 1 draw, and 1 loss. Let's talk about the run of play, but more specifically the 3-1 loss to Leipzig. A weird match because I didn't exactly hate it. The way we came out in the first half, played it at their level, and for periods of time we were the better side and took advantage of the opportunities in front of us. I didn't feel too good going into that match. But certainly in the first 25, 30 minutes, I felt okay with it. We can talk about lineups a little bit here and see how you guys feel about it. But tell me your thoughts going into the match, and did the expectation meet reality? I don't think any of us really expected a win, but decent play. Would we agree we got that at least for the first half?
Yeah, I think we got some decent play out of it. We certainly had chances to. Now Matt's face is gone. I mean,
we don't need to see it.
No, I mean, we certainly had chances to get a second goal in that game, and in our predictor league, I predicted a 3-1 loss. I had no confidence against that RBL side. They're really good. Their attack is fantastic, as we've seen with Diamande across the whole season. Although I did think it was funny how much Derek Ray was praising his goal when, it was nice play by Diamande, but in reality, we just fell asleep and let him control the ball right on the edge of the box and then cut back in, take the shot. Like, we should have played that better, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, there was promising play. We had quite a bit of possession from what I remember, and I know that's how Riera likes to play. I don't think the squad is really built for that right now, and hasn't been for years, no matter the manager. So I'm not surprised that we weren't able to break them down. They played defensively very well. Lucas Klosterman, I thought, kind of turned back the clock in this one and looked fantastic for them. So I'm like, obviously I'm upset. I hate RBL. I wish they would lose every match, but it's one I'm not going to get too upset over. Like this was an expected loss, but
yeah. Nobody was predicting wins, but it kind of felt like a tale of two halves. The way that the first half played out, like you said, we're not really a possession team, but that's the style of play we're playing right now. And I felt like the first half, I don't have first half only stats, only got the full match, but it felt to me, as I look at this on the screen, like we were competitive, not the better side, but there were stretches where we were better. And, sometimes you got to be a little lucky, the ball ending up on Larson's forehead after it makes a couple weird bounces in the box. He took care of business. That's what you're expected to do. And to do that within, 7 or 8 minutes after the previous goal scored, that's a good rebound goal there. And you take that into halftime, 1-1 against a better side, you're feeling good about it. And then the second half came around and felt flat to me. Matt?
Yeah, first half, the whole game was kind of meh. I mean, the goal was lucky, to be honest. Like I said, it took a weird deflection, and Larson was a good spot to head it in. Great. They were clearly the better side to me. Second half, it felt like they came out in the second half and said, we're going to put them in their place, which kind of sucks because, like John said, we hate them. Especially as you mentioned earlier, being a DC United fan, I have a deep hatred for the RB teams long before they entered the Bundesliga. Yeah. So, I just, even Diamante's goal, he made a nice cut across. We were caught flat-footed. They also had a nice pick play on Koch, which threw him off, kind of gets overlooked and not talked about, but it's just enough to give him a little more time. Riera in his post-game press conference had a nice remark that, Højlund made a nice run and made a great shot, and their goalie made a great save. And if we had scored, it would have been 2-1, a totally different game. And I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I think we would have been lucky if we came out with a tie. I guess it's a deserved loss. Ready to kind of move on from it.
but I mean, you mentioned.
No, go ahead, John.
No, I was going to say you mentioned Riera talking about Højlund with that run, and it was nice. And talk about a player who's, I think, really, really impressed over the last couple of weeks. Obviously, amazing goal against Wolfsburg, but I think his general play has been fantastic, and that's why I didn't really understand when Riera took him off in the second half. If
that was one of the same thing.
Yeah, like if one of our midfielders should have come off, it should have been Hugo Larsson. Like he got the goal, but I didn't think his overall play was very good in that one.
It's kind of been a pattern this year where you see bright moments out of certain guys that haven't seen the pitch a lot, like Oscar Højlund, but then you keep giving them more time and they kind of fade back. We haven't had anybody consistently build from average to good or from bad to good. There hasn't been a real player progression. Maybe part of that is a management change halfway through the year.
For sure.
I mean, some, weird lineup situations with a new boss in town, but
and lots
injuries
of injuries
along the way too. Yeah. I'm not really sure who to expect on any given week or what to expect from any certain player. We looked at the beginning of the year with the defense struggling as bad as they were, and we said Robin Koch is the guy we have to rely on. He's been awful. Like, that is the perfect adjective for his play. The last few months is just not what you expect from your captain center back.
Yeah, and like even he has had some really nice defensive moments since Riera's taken charge. I mean, I think there was like a 2-on-1 or 3-on-1 or something that Köln had early in the match, in that one where he defended it great, broke up the play, but then he falls flat on like both of their goals, and it's just, I want to see some consistency here. You know, at least it's slightly better than what we saw under Dino with the defensive mindset and effort, but it's the vibes have just been off this year, you know, as a whole, and I don't think one manager can necessarily change all of that. I think, like I said in our DC chat, you can't fix stupid, and we've been stupid back there.
I was going to save it for later. Let's do it now. I mean, give me a 12-week grade for Out Riera. Signed, you know, at the end of January. This will be his 12th week here, and it's so hard to pick up a new group mid-season, especially when he wasn't sitting on the sideline somewhere. He, you know, had a job he was doing and had to pay attention to that. It's not like he had months to scout a team he was going to pick up in the summer. It takes some time to learn your guys, learn their tendencies, learn their talents. I don't fault him at all. I've seen what I think is a better side playing. But Matt, I know you've got some strong feelings about this and where the direction you think things are headed right now. Tell us where your mind's at.
Oh, like John said, consistency. I feel like the whole squad has had consistency issues all season. With Riera, you know, my feeling isn't a good one. I mean, when you look at him on the sidelines during games, or you know, some of the post-game and pre-game press conferences, you kind of get like a weird feeling that it doesn't feel like he's going to be around for a long time. I've heard in other news channels, you know, where Eintracht will come up and they'll talk about how many points we've had since Riera came in, and like, actually, you know, we're actually doing well points wise since he's been hired, but most of the teams we've played against, we kind of should have beat, you know, and I feel like these last couple games really will make or break them, you know, and I still, even if he does well, I don't know if he'll be around next season. I got some weird feelings, I guess, about him right now.
Yeah, you know, we've all known the Bundesliga to be a very, how do you say it, a culturally isolated league compared to others. They don't like outside, especially as far as managers. I mean, the players, they'll take them from anywhere, but as far as the managers go, it's the same, you know, recycled names year after year after year. They just, you know, move the same 50 guys around the top two tiers of the pyramid. To come in from the outside, you know, there's some language barrier in the way. From my understanding, he didn't have strong German coming in, but the connection with the players in Frankfurt has always been, you know, multicultural anyway. I don't see that as an issue as much as he's a very extremely emotional guy, a very fiery guy. And where Dino was quite controlled, he could be very fiery too, but he was very controlled with it. I think Riera just puts it all out there. You know, what you see on the pitch is what's going on in his mind, and that chaos in what is already a chaotic season here, where we came in hoping for better things and we're leaving with less. I don't know if that's really the kind of culture that helps calm an already unstable environment in a locker room.
Yeah, I mean, I think so much would have been helped if you make that change before January starts, because then you give the coach more time to adapt. And I do think, you know, yeah, like I see it said around a bit that Riera is kind of on the hot seat and stuff. I do think a lot of that is the German media not liking him because he never played in the league, as far as I could remember from when I was looking him up before. He doesn't speak any German. All his press conferences are in English. He, as you said, he puts it all out there. He is not afraid to say whatever is on his mind. Like, he's going to talk a big game. And have we seen that big game on the pitch? No, but I think it's still a marked improvement over what we were seeing under Dino this year, especially towards the end of Dino's time with us. Like, things were really, really, really bad. Where finishing in the top 10 could have even been in a question because of the way we were playing. So for me, like, you have on the screen 12-week grade for Out Riera. I'd put it as a B. I think he's done well. I was kind of hoping for better, but again, he was coaching aside up until he was hired by us. So really no time to learn the squad and the players. Yes, there have been international breaks now where he should be a lot more familiar, and maybe we should play a little bit better. Drawing 2-2 to that Cologne side was not ideal. They also were a side who had just made a coaching change prior to that match. So yeah, I think good signs, good points, but it's certainly not been perfect so far.
Matt, grade him out.
I'll go with a B. I can't disagree with that. And you say like he's leaves it all out there and unfiltered. Yeah, I agree with you there. I don't disagree with that. But I don't get the feeling where we are right now that he was the number one choice when they let Dino go. When they went from the interim with Alex Meyer and I can't remember the other guy, coach's name from the U21, but
yeah, I can't remember.
I'm blanking on his name right now, but I just don't get the feeling like he's got the full vote of the board and Crusher and everyone else, and I just don't get the sense that he was like their number one, that this is exactly what they want. I think he's just kind of like a Band-Aid at this point, I don't hate the guy. I mean, I want him to do well. Something just doesn't seem right now still.
I'm not sure that our board knew who they wanted, to be honest. Like,
I think that's pretty clear. I mean, if you knew who you wanted, those conversations would have been happening in the background before you put caretaker managers in there that really only deepen the hole in the league during that time.
We had them in charge for 2 full weeks, right?
Yeah. For me, if you're going to fire a guy mid-season, which I think it was appropriate to do, you had to make a move there. I liked Dino a lot, but when things went downhill, they just could not be saved.
Yeah.
But we can all agree it was right to fire him. But you're either putting in a caretaker through the end of the year with the understanding that that's a part-time gig, or you've already talked to a person. You've already got that contract ready and printed, ready for signing. And it was clear that they didn't. And I'm with you, Matt. I don't necessarily believe he was their first priority, but he was the one that, after they got shot down by whomever that was, came in and said, yeah, I'll do it. You're going to have to add another 0 at the end of that check, but I'll do it. And that's how these things play out. And that's where you get someone who might have a different take on personnel than Marcus Kroschel, because they didn't have those serious conversations ahead of time. They said, well, come on in, we'll figure it out as we go along. And it's a bad position to put these players in, because they felt enough pressure as it was. And now, taking it back to middle school, I had a A in a math class, and then the teacher had to leave middle of the year, and all of a sudden my grade went down to a C. Not because the new teacher didn't know what she was doing, it just didn't translate in my mind correctly. And I think that's, in athletic terms, you see that all the time. Sometimes you get a boost from players that respond to a new voice, and other times it takes things down. Here, I don't necessarily think it's taking us down. We're not any worse than we were with Dino. If anything, I think we're a little more stable, but we're still not entirely above water right now. And that's, to Matt's point, that's where I think there's still some hesitancy to fully embrace Riera full time. Something happened in hockey. There we go. Stop looking up. Every time you look up, I gotta look up.
I know. This is reminding me of 2011 with this scoreline right now. So
anyway, back to the pitch here.
Just be clear to the listeners, I'm not watching hockey right now.
Matt is being
dedicated.
So.
Matt is being disciplined and not letting the hate watch flow through him like I am. Oh.
Yep.
Actually, none of the three of us have our team in the hockey playoffs right now. So
I am purely here for the Bruins losing, and they're winning 4-0. So wonderful stuff.
Well, how about you be here for some table talk? Let's talk about what's happening around the league right now. 30 matches played. I've got a graphic with the table for those that are watching on YouTube, and if you're not, head over there, because why go to Google and search for the table when you could go to hefpod, watch, or go to YouTube, look up hefpod and see it on our screen. But Frankfurt's sitting at 8, and I got a clear graphics. There we go. Frankfurt's sitting at 8 right now, and it's not a bad spot to be in as far as it's a terrible spot to be in, but how do I say this? We were floundering earlier. I would have expected far worse than 8th at this point.
No, I remember when Riera came in, I saw multiple people be like, oh, he should be more worried about saving us from relegation than making Europe. Yeah. And it's like, all right, come on, guys. Like, yeah, are we playing like shit? Of course. But this team isn't that bad. Like mid-table is I think the minimum point for the squad we have, and we're here right now.
We're not going to expect the teams in front of us to have any sort of massive collapse. We can still catch Freiburg, obviously. Leverkusen's out of reach. They're not losing 3 in a row, 4 in a row, but really getting into 7 and overtaking Freiburg is an important point, not just for Riera and his job, but for players these last 4 weeks going out and playing for their own jobs. And I don't like being a mid-table team, but for my 30 years with Frankfurt, that's been the case most years. I just haven't been accustomed to it lately, so I'm not happy with it. But I am happy that the slide was not as bad as some had predicted it would be.
Yeah, I mean, we've only missed Europe once in the past 8 seasons or so, I think it is. So, and we still have a chance at Europe in this year. We need to get ahead of Freiburg. That's first and foremost. Kind of need to hope that they don't win the Pokal, and then we can get Conference League if we end in 7th. Or if they and Bayern win their European competitions, I don't know all the math on the coefficient, but Germany's still in the running for that against Spain. So, Europe is still a real possibility for us this season.
It is.
Even though we probably don't really deserve it, given how we've played this entire season. But it matters a lot in terms of either player retention, player recruitment over the summer, financial planning for the squad. Even just making Conference League is a massive boost to our ability to stay competitive in the Bundesliga. So, we have 4 matches left here, 2 of them very difficult, and we just need to make it work.
We kind of shot ourselves in the foot where we need help to make that happen now. It is what it is, but I think there's a unique situation there in the 4, 5, 6, where you got 3 teams battling for that 4 spot, all within 4 points with 4 weeks left. Any slip up by Stuttgart like last week, and Hoffenheim's right behind them now. So,
but
really cool situation there.
We're just not unfortunately for us, we're not getting the points to move up there. If we had beaten Köln, if we had a better game against RBL, maybe that would still be a possibility. But
this is where we got to get Garrett on the math of all the points we dropped to the bottom third of the table.
right, yeah. Oh my gosh,
I mean, it's
that
absolutely
game
ridiculous
against Union Berlin. Oh my gosh, that one is just gonna sit in my head forever. From the early season.
Yep.
Just such a poor result that could change our season. It's a game we should win, and we didn't. So, and we seem to do that a lot over the years.
I'd like to see a little more chaos.
To be fair, though, Union beat a lot of the top
7
table teams. I mean,
no,
I don't feel that was
side.
a total fluke. Or at the time they're playing much better. So
yeah, for sure. Obviously, they've been playing poorly now, which is why they've changed managers. But I still think, we just got hit on the counter on all of those goals that they scored.
Yeah,
and it's like we just got to be better like that against.
There's always a team every year that wins those games they have no business winning. There's a year where Heidenheim had like 12 points against the top 3 in the table or something. It's stupid. These things shouldn't be happening, but that's why you have to play the games every single week and show up.
It's why this league is.
You could be Stuttgart and falling out of fourth. Yeah. Now, I would like to see a little more. I'd like to see a little more chaos at the bottom. I love following a relegation battle. There's still room here. That 16-17 is going to be a battle. But I think Werder Bremen is safe. Heidenheim obviously down, but maybe Wolfsburg and St. Pauli go toe-to-toe a little bit. That would be fun to see them battle it out. Get some wins, too.
I would very much like to see Wolfsburg not get another point for the rest of the year. Send those guys down. But I'd love to see Pauli make a fight out of that for 16th. I just don't think they have the quality compared to.
Well, now I got to see who they're playing.
Shit. Nathan sent all that earlier too, and it was like
Wolfsburg has Gladbach, Freiburg, Bayern, and St. Pauli. Oh, there you go.
Oh my!
St. Pauli and Wolfsburg on match day 34.
That's amazing.
Must see TV. See that's why we're mid-table. Now we can watch those other matches instead.
No, and I know HSV has a death schedule for the last 4 matches as well. I think 3 of their matches are against top of the table ish teams. So it's going to be interesting to watch for sure. I'm glad we're not down there, and I don't think mathematically we can be relegated at this point.
No, we're good.
Yeah, so that's ultimately all that matters, right? Stay in the league. So
yeah. So guys, fun fact: Frankfurt has a women's team. You wouldn't know that because they haven't played in a month. It's
been a while.
We talked about it off air.
And
they need to fire whoever is building this calendar for UEFA needs to be fired because there's 2 or 3 breaks of 3 weeks during the women's season.
It's insane.
You can't get in any rhythm. These players are, rehabbing injuries. Then you're putting them out there on legs that aren't warm, and it doesn't make sense to me. But it is what it is.
20 days about from our last match to our next match, I think.
Yeah, I think it's got that up right here. The last match was thanks Google. April 5th.
Yeah, there you go.
So, almost 20 days.
20, yeah, because we don't play until Sunday, right? Yeah, that's just too long.
Oh no, that's a lot. That was cup, but ignore me.
It's still a match.
Google, but
it's been so long since we played, and to be fair, you could also be forgiven for thinking we don't have a women's team, given how much our board seems to care about them as well.
Well, that's what I wanted to talk about here. Lot of names being connected. By the way, our last match was on March 28th, so it'll be 28 days between matches.
I could have sworn we had a match in April.
Somebody shared something on our Discord today about Sense leaving in the summer. Are there legs on that, or is that?
So I'm just looking up something real quick. But no, we played on May 2nd. against Hacken in the second leg. So that was the last match. So it's April 2nd. Against Hacken.
What you got in that cup over there?
We'll talk about it in a minute.
Wrong
I
segment.
forget, European dates I have to convert, and then I still mess it up. So Elisa Sense, I had seen a rumor in Bild like a couple weeks ago about her maybe joining Bayern, but it's Bild, so whatever. Today there was a thing that came out like Real Madrid are interested in Sense. It's a Spanish reporter saying that Real Madrid are showing interest in her, so I'm not gonna sound the alarm bells on her possibly leaving yet.
Yeah.
But there are lots of almost confirmed deals of players leaving us, like Lozana Greve is leaving, Nicole Nyomi and Reuteler are leaving on freeze. Looks like Nina Lerson is going to go to Wolfsburg probably. So there is going to be another major upheaval this summer within the Frauen.
I just don't know where are we going to find our talent? I mean,
no, yeah, exactly.
This goes right back to the board question where they saw the women's side as what was the word that was used by Axel
I don't know if that was used by Hellman,
subsidiary?
but I know that like when we were talking in Philly with Reshka, other people in the crowd had used the term subsidy. Yeah, like a subsidiary. Yeah. And
it's funny because I see other sides spending money, and they're not spending money if they don't see an ROI opportunity. So I would love to see us sign a player or battle to keep a player like Aniomi. For all we know, they tried to and just came up short on the numbers. But it's really frustrating because 12 months ago, we were close. We were really close to going over the edge from a young team with talent to a young team, that's going to be competing for titles. And it just feels like a complete 180 now, sitting here in April of 2026 compared to April of 2025. I feel completely defeated as a fan. Now, the bright side is the next 3 matches will be on TV here in the States, which is rare. But
especially with one of those being against either Nuremberg or Union. I know like those two would normally not get priority. Now the other two against Wolfsburg and Bayern, you'd hope those would always be.
And maybe they saw people are watching and they're like, hey, we're going to pick up. We own the rights. Let's just throw up more streams. That's a good thing.
I don't know why.
I certainly see a lot more people watching now here in the States. That encourages me. Frankfurt fans that generally only watch the men are now watching the women. But again, it goes back to we're showing up. Where is the club to sign these players? I haven't seen us linked with any names. It's a little harder to find on the women's side, but I Google it every couple of days. I'm Googling, trying to find who we're in the running for. Not seeing us linked with anyone right now.
No, and that's the thing, right? Like last year when we had the major upheaval in the summer, I'm a little more tuned into, rumors on the women's game. And I saw us linked to players. Like we ended up signing in Mehmeti and Blomqvist. I'm not seeing that this year at all. And that really worries me. I know we're running kind of a tight budget on the women's side, which obviously I wish we weren't. But there's still cheap, good talent out there. And I want to see us at least linked to some of that. Now,
that Blomqvist signing, by the way, was fantastic.
Fantastic.
I mean, that's the kind of move that we need to do more of, an impact move from day one.
Yeah, and it was a risk in the sense that you weren't sure how good she was going to be after coming back from I think it was a knee injury that kept her out for almost a year. She played like almost a full season last year, but because of Wolfsburg's depth on the wings and a striker, she didn't really play much at all. So it was like, what kind of player are we going to get out of her? And she's been absolutely fantastic. Probably our second best player this season. So the exact kind of signing you want to make to stay competitive in the league, and that's the type you need to keep making, because look, we're not going to be like the men's side and just make a shit ton of money from really big sales every season. We're in a position
which is fine. We
no,
don't need to.
But we're in a position to compete, right? Like the men's side isn't in a position to compete for a league title right now. We could be on the Frauen, and yet we almost choose not to be, and it's really frustrating.
Matt?
I don't know, man. Could they compete? Yes, but I still think the Bayern Frauen are still leagues ahead of us. I mean, it's gonna.
Oh yeah.
No, our chance was last year. Like last year was the chance.
Our chance was last year. You're right.
But yeah, Bayern are by
this year,
far and away better.
Yeah, I mean the league was within reach last year, and then the Europa League was a chance this year. I mean maybe they're going to rebuild. Maybe there's some young players coming up. I don't know. I mean, it's like Chris said, it's hard to get all the news and all the details. It's covered, but it's not as much gossip. So
yeah. I think the problem.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, continue. Sorry.
I mean, it seems like we're kind of happy just going for second or third place each season. You know, like we've kind of accepted it.
That's
I want to ask this question as a crossover. We talked extensively about, not that there's any confirmed upheaval, but maybe some differences of opinions in the board and the sporting side for the men. Is it possible that there's something like that on the women's side? Because there have been questions about Nico Arnautis and his future based on, again, the results haven't been bad, but they haven't been what was expected of the group. We were supposed to be more competitive. We lost some bad matches early on. Could there be questions about his future, and that's holding things up on what kind of player, what kind of system will come next? But then if we're quick to fire a manager on the men's side, which has far more costly buyout to it, why are we not making that kind of move on the women's side?
Yeah.
Is anyone paying attention?
No. To speak to Arnautis, like almost everyone I follow who follow women's soccer, and especially European women's soccer, but not Frankfurt specifically, every single person is like, how is Nico still the coach of this team? That's a question that's running around the entirety of that continent, our continent. And when you talk about maybe disagreement within the hierarchy, there were rumors that Katarina Kiel was going to leave us in the winter because she had a difference of opinion on Nico Arnautis, as in, I believe, from what I've heard, that she kind of wanted him gone, but then we gave her a promotion. So she stayed, and we brought in Petter to be like, her second in charge. So I have no idea what the future is in terms of our coach. I would like to move on from Nico at this point. Look, he's done well for us. He got us to a Pokal final. He got us into the Champions League at least once. Had us.
It's clear that's the ceiling, though. There's
he had us first in the league after half a season and then lost it. Probably a lot thanks to his management style. So yeah, like I would like to see us try to make an upgrade there. I just don't know if I have the faith in our board in terms of being willing to shell out the money for the kind of person who would replace him to make us better. And that's kind of the question. Because I don't think there are a lot of elite names out there. And, we had a good coach in our system in Friederike Krom, who went on to Werder Bremen this offseason, and now they're very close to us. And it's just, that's maybe where you had an internal option. You could have taken that, and now you're probably regretting that a little bit.
Yeah, that's fair. And for all the complaining we're doing, we're sitting at third in the table. But it doesn't feel like
it doesn't
compared to
feel
the
like
past.
it. No.
No, because I mean, before the last three matches that we won, we were battling between 4, 5, and 6. It's kind of messed up with all the weather related delays in the schedule this year. You got Werder Bremen sitting on 20 matches played. With the expanded league this year, the longer schedule kind of throws off the way we kind of mark the time in thirds instead of quarters like most do. But I think to finish third with all the upheaval and all the chaos of the season, all the rumors of who's in, who's out, would certainly be fine. But I think if we played this year the way we did last year, the second was there for the taking easily. I mean, this is not the Wolfsburg we've seen in previous years. And that's what really upsets me, is that the opportunity was wasted.
Hell, second was there last year. If we don't lose that game late against Freiburg, we get second, but yeah, like Wolfsburg, we talk about the turnover that we've had here in Eintracht. Wolfsburg is having that as well. They lost probably the best young talent they've had in a long time in Jule Brand over the offseason. They also lost Jonsdottir. They're losing Vivian Endemann to Liverpool, who are not even competitive in England this summer. So like a lot of stuff is happening there that's opening the door for second place, and we're not taking that advantage right now. But you look at that table, Hoffenheim are obviously right behind us. Leverkusen is within reaching distance, probably not. And then Werder especially looks within reaching distance because you look at their 2 games in hand. But their 2 games in hand are against Wolfsburg and Bayern. Obviously, we have to play Wolfsburg and Bayern left. But Hoffenheim, they just lost to Wolfsburg. They have to play Bayern. The second place is within our grasp. It's our fault if we don't hold on to second place. Or, sorry, not second. Third place at this point. So, get the job done against Nuremberg. Get the job done against Union Berlin. And take that Champions League qualification spot. It's
and
frustrating.
That's how they can save the season in my mind. I mean, I'm not going to call it a wasted season, but if we end up losing 65% of our productivity in the off season and we didn't qualify for a Champions League, I really don't care about the Women's Europa League. It's kind of like the Conference League on the men's side, where and all due respect for the reason they created it, to give more opportunity to the women's teams, I'm all for that. But as far as what the standard should be for a Frankfurt side coming off the merger and the traditional backing of the club we inherited, the expectation is Champions League, and less than that. The Bayern men would not celebrate going to the Conference League. The Frankfurt women do not celebrate going to anything less than Champions League, and that's my personal feeling. But I think that's the standard that should be there.
No, I agree. And you talk about Europa Cup being an opportunity that should be there for women's team. Is it though? Like Katharina Kiel in an early season interview was like, it's not financially in our favor to be competing in the Europa Cup. There's no TV rights deal. Everything is through each club's own broadcast thing. Like, we all have to use Eintracht TV to watch our matches.
Yeah.
I'm not paying to watch the other ones, so the only Europa Cup matches I've watched this year are our matches. People aren't tuning into it. You saw the crowd sizes. Our games were okay. Others, when you saw our away legs, they weren't good. So I honestly don't know if it's the right opportunity right now for clubs across Europe in the women's game.
I think we just found a off-season topic right there, because we could really get into the weeds of media rights and the cost of doing business. I work in the sports and entertainment industry, and it is shocking how many sporting events are put on and lose money.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
We think of global football, soccer as, just a license to print money. They're not all like the World Cup. They're not all like UEFA Men's Champions League. Even the Women's Champions League is far behind. For some of the lower clubs competing there, it's a break even at best situation.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the bigger discussion has to be had on, are we doing this because we want to provide the right opportunity for the players, but are we also hurting them in the long run by losing money that could be spent in supporting them in other ways? So good job. You helped fill our calendar for the off season. I appreciate it.
No, there are so many talking points about money and money allocation in the women's game, even beyond the scope of this podcast. It's
fun fact.
Certainly one up for discussion.
There is one thing that never takes an off season. Do you know what that is?
What?
What are we drinking?
Yeah, you're sure right about that.
Good one.
I brought a banger to the party, but I'm going to let you guys go first. What are you drinking now? What have you been drinking recently?
Matt, you got this.
Well, I went for a run after I got home from work. I got to get up early for work tomorrow, so I'm drinking some nice filtered DC tap water right now.
Good stuff.
I was on the road this weekend for DC United away in Philadelphia, and I drinking some Beck's. What else was I drinking? Mainly Beck's. Just drink a lot of Beck's.
Nice.
Yeah.
Question.
Had to watch the match from the van on the ride up. So,
were you treated as poorly as a Union supporter as you were as a Frankfurt supporter last summer?
United, you mean?
It's kind of expected.
As United
up there. It's kind of expected going up there that we're going to be treated like shit.
Yeah. Sure.
It was.
But when you're Frankfurt going in the middle of July, you expect to be treated not like a United fan going up there in April either.
The best was sitting in on a team's meeting before the friendly match, which I got dragged into just for the tailgate parking situation, which we don't have to talk about right now, but you know what I'm talking about. And our beloved Christian, our fan liaison, telling the Philadelphia Union, this is a friendly match, we should treat the fans in the spirit of a friendly match. And the Philadelphia Union were like, yeah, whatever. The highlight for me was being invited to similar teams meetings for this past United match, and I declined because I knew it's just going to be a bunch of bullshit. And then seeing the PDF afterwards, they're like, all right, they're going to hold the away fans for 30 minutes after the final whistle. Well, I don't know about you guys, but the temperature went from like 85 degrees to like 55 degrees from before the match to after the match. And we're sitting up there celebrating the classic German phrase of a Arbeitssieg, of a 0-0 draw on the road. And all the United fans were very happy with that. And we're singing and drinking beer and doing whatever. And I don't think 15 minutes comes by and security just kind of bum rush our section, started cursing us out. And we're like, what happened to 30 minutes? They're like, get the F out of here, We're like, you guys are holding us, just
beautiful Chester.
No, I remember. John? No, I was gonna say I remember when I was talking to Dan, whom you know, Matt, at one of the Spear matches afterwards about it. He's like, yeah, that's just how Philly is. Like, they don't treat away fans well at all, which is really annoying. But as the weather has gotten a lot nicer, probably a little bit too hot, I've been drinking a lot of Modelo, having a lot of nice Modelo porch beers. But right now I got Lagunitas, little something something. It's my godfather's favorite beer, and I'm going to see him over the weekend. So when I saw it in the store, I'm like, yeah, might as well get it. Absolutely delicious beer out of good old Petaluma, California. So yeah,
nice. Good stuff. Lagunitas, really good stuff.
Yeah, they only make good beer.
I got two things here. You guys, I if you've known me for more than a month, you know that my lawn is almost as important to me as my own child. I love my grass, and we hit. I'm joking. I am joking about that.
Only slightly.
Slightly.
Get some Hank Hill vibes here.
All right, Matt. 10-year-old hard to work with. You know this. Sometimes you appreciate the grass a little bit more, and you don't feel appreciated either. But anyway, that's a different podcast. I have been enjoying a couple of lawn beers because I was out there on my lawn today and a couple neighbors came by, and I'm working on leveling off the grass and adding mulch and trimming back some bushes. And the neighbor was like, "Man, you inspired me. I was sitting on the couch, but I got to get out of here." I'm like, it's what I do. That is my church, and you are my people. Let me tell you how to make your grass greener. But my banger of a drink today, I shared this over the weekend. I am in significant financial trouble because I found Mezzomix down the road from me.
Wow.
At $4 a can,
Oh.
but worth every penny right now. So I'll put my Venmo up on the hefpod Instagram, and feel free to share so that I can enjoy more sugary orange drinks. But it's just better. Like, I tried the orange Coke. I don't drink a lot of pop soda, as I guess you guys would call it.
Yeah.
But I put up some good weight in the gym, and I was like, I'm going to treat myself. What am I going to treat myself with when I get out? And we go to the store, and we're like, oh my God, this is the taste of European soda that I have lacked for so many years back here. And now that I found it, I bought 4 the first time, and there were 25 on the shelf. So I'm just going to tell them, you keep stocking them. I'll keep buying them. This is good stuff. This is better than alcohol, to be honest. It is just the perfect thing. You don't like it?
No, I'm just saying, no soda is better than alcohol, in my opinion.
Well, don't worry. I got some alcohol here. I am headed to DC in it.
I'm gonna have to say, if we're going European or German sodas, I'm an orange Fanta guy. Sorry.
Ooh.
I agree with the Fanta.
Orange Fanta outside the US is so good. Like, I'm not a soda drinker at all, really. Like, I mostly use it as a mixer, not as a straight drink. But orange Fanta outside the US, that is definitely a go-to.
It definitely is worth it. I think we need to take the show on the road and do some taste testing. That's the only proper way to get a good assessment. I am headed to DC in a couple weeks. I am going to drink my way through Church Key and have a damn good time. And I'm going to drag you guys out for a beer at some point too. So we will share those.
If I'm here, if you're here during the few days I'm here, I am all about it.
You're not allowed to leave until we share that.
Right.
All right, gentlemen, let's wrap this one up. A couple of previews here. Frauen finally back in action Sunday morning. As we said, this is available in the United States. It is free of charge. Please go watch. Please enjoy it. I have no idea what to expect because it is, but first of all, it's a top 3 matchup in the table. This is our chance to climb into the mix for second place against Wolfsburg. Mm-hmm. But more importantly, it's a measuring stick for where we are right now. We're losing some significant players coming up, but who's still engaged? Who's going to put it out there? Who's working on earning a spot for next season? Those that are returning, who are they going to play for next year? Put a stamp on your position in next year's lineup over these next 3 weeks. That's what I want to see. No going down 2-0 in the first 15 minutes. Come out and hit them hard. Not the same Wolfsburg as the past, but certainly a very, very talented team. Definitely the second best team in Germany still.
Yeah. No, they certainly still are the second best team. But we've also played them well. I mean, we only lost that Pokal matchup 1-0 against them. There's an opportunity here. Wolfsburg have not been incredible this season. I think even if we were to win this game, I still don't think we catch them for second place just because we have that match against Bayern. Let's be real. No one, you're not going to beat them. They're just so much better than everyone else.
We have played them tough there. We haven't pulled it out, but we played them
exactly.
tough.
We've not pulled out a win at Bayern in however many years. We have played them well, but a draw or forcing extra time isn't. It's not the same as winning.
Sure.
But yeah, to just go out there, put it all out. If you win this match, there's absolutely no reason to finish lower than third place. If you draw this match, there's still probably no reason to finish lower than third place. I said in our text before, this could be a season-defining match. Because if we get a result, if we get a single point out of this, even if we lose, we still are in control of our destiny for third place. But if you get a point out of it, it makes it almost impossible for any of the three teams behind us to catch up. So I want to see a really inspired performance. If we go out and lose by a goal or something like that, but we play really well, that's all I care about. Just show that you want to fight.
I'm not going to say it like Brian does, where I'm going to guarantee we beat Nuremberg and we beat Union Berlin. But
right.
I feel confident in those points.
Yeah.
Stealing a point against Bayern would be great. Not realistic. But having Wolfsburg at home, if there is a must win, like you said, to define the season, this is the one you want, having the team you're chasing down at home. And hopefully you're on fresh legs.
I mean, both of us, Wolfsburg and Eintracht have plenty of international players. So I think it'll be interesting coming off of this international break how those players are. And Yomi took a knock against Austria in their second game, but she was able to get up and continue on. So hopefully she's not feeling too much residuals from that. See, I don't know. It'll be an interesting one because you're going to have half the squad fit and match day ready and half the squad only been training for the past 3 weeks. Just a weird dynamic given the women's schedule.
Matt, prediction?
Win. I don't have a prediction. But the last time we did a podcast, we had just lost to Bremen, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They had just lost in the Pokal to Wolfsburg.
Mm-hmm.
Then they lost to Bremen. And I talked about, there being a carryover. And they bounced back well after that. They kind of shit the bed in the Europa League match, but overall they've been good. I feel confident going to this one. I'm not going to throw a score out there, but I feel like 3 points is within reason.
Look, and you look at those Europa Cup matchups. We lost that first leg 3-0.
John, look up at your TV right
now. No. That was my reaction. 2 more, baby. 2 more. Come on, 2
Sabres
more.
Are back in
it. Kind of. I mean, 5 minutes left, 2 goals to get. We'll see. But you look at that first leg in the Europa Cup semis. We lost that 3-0, and unfortunately, it came on the back of 2 very egregious mistakes from Sarah Dorson, which is unfortunate because I was running numbers for a different podcast I went on the other day, and I was looking at our defensive record before we brought Dorson back. In the 23 games before Dorson came back to us, we were allowing 1.83 goals per game. In the 12 games since Dorson's come back, we're allowing 1.08 goals per game. That is an
sample size, too. That's not a mistake.
Yeah, and if you break it down further, which now we're getting into very small sample sizes, when it's been Dorson and Martina Ostenstad, it's 1 goal a game across 8 games. Whereas Dorson with Yellowvite, which only 4 games, so whatever, that was 1.25. So we found a defensive identity at center back with Sarah Dorson and Martina Ostenstad. And
I'll be right back. I'm going to call Nico and let him know that we got the answer here.
But I don't think I could predict a win out of this, but even in that Europa Cup, like you look at the second leg of the Europa Cup, we outplayed the hell out of Häcken. Yeah, they sat back, but we won that leg 1-0. Sense hit the post. Chiba hit the bar. I mean, there were chances aplenty in that match for us to get back into it, tie it up, and send it to extra time. And we just weren't quite able to do it. Like, I do think, Häcken were very good in that first leg, but over the course of both legs, I think we were the better side, and I think we've had a good direction this year in general in how we're playing, despite some unfortunate losses, like the Werder Bremen match. Like that was one, you're up 2-0. How do you drop it 4-2? But Bremen are having a fantastic year as well. So, I'm really hopeful for how these last 4 matches go and our chances to, hold on to third place, get back into the qualifiers for Champions League. I think the possibility for us to at least get a draw out of this one on Sunday is very much within reach. I don't know if
historically,
I can come up with a prediction though.
Yeah, historically these two teams don't play low scoring matches. That 1-0 in the cup was kind of an outlier. 3-2 earlier in the year, and there've been 5-6 goals scored in previous seasons between these two. There's plenty of firepower there. If you can play defense, you can win this game. And that's kind of what we've seen in recent matchups with them the last 2 to 3 years. Both teams are going to get 20 shots and 15 are going to be on target. So whose goalie is going to stand up and make saves, and who's not going to allow 3 or 4 in the net in the first half, and then you're stuck trying to play from behind. I don't want to let up anything early. I think playing at home, you got to come out really fast, and push as much as you safely can to get that first goal.
And let's be real, they have the better goalie, right? Like Stine Johannes is fantastic. Altenberg has not been ideal, so you need to keep the pressure on.
Well, gentlemen, last piece of business.
Hold on.
Bundesliga.
We're going to touch on some real quick. John, is there anything else you care to tell us about this other podcast? I mean, you just casually mentioned it and just thought none of the other listeners would.
No. I just,
the heart's beating real fast right now. We're a little worried.
Like, what? No. I just hopped on as a guest on the B Team podcast. They're an NWSL podcast for the most part, but covering women's football as a whole.
So to clarify, they're the B team or the A team?
Well, to be fair, I'm not a host. I was just a guest. And because it was international break, NWSL was off. They invited me on to talk some Eintracht, some Frauen Bundesliga, and of course talk some Washington Spirit. So no
soccer way to say it's not you, it's me. All right, so let it go. Match day 31, Eintracht Frankfurt, Augsburg. Who wants to start?
Please don't lose. Like, please win.
I don't know what to expect. Honestly, it's just
Augsburg is
not really in form.
Augsburg are just the most frustrating opponent every year. For the first half of the year when they had Sandra Wagner, they looked pretty open because I don't think he really fit with the identity of that club. But as soon as they go back to having a more defensive-minded coach, just playing structured ball, they frustrate everyone. And they've pulled out enough results where they're not that far behind us in the table now.
Nope. They're playing well right now.
Yeah, like they're a tough opponent. I'm not too worried that it's away versus home. I know we had that match against them. was that last year or the year before with the almost frozen pitch, like that mattered. But other than that, I'm not too worried about their atmosphere messing us up. I just worry
What
about
atmosphere?
Yeah, no, exactly. Like,
Well,
hey, it's not as bad as Wolfsburg or Hoffenheim at all.
no, let me put it this way. I've been to 3 matches at that stadium. Only one was for Frankfurt. Um, Thankfully, it will feel like a home match because of that. But
Mhm.
when going in there as a neutral, I think I saw Freiburg one year, and it might have been Wolfsburg for the other one. But there is no atmosphere there. So sometimes going into a hostile environment is helpful. We've played very well in very hostile environments, but it will kind of have that home feel from our fans that we know will travel and support.
Yeah,
But we got to kind of lean into that too. If we fall behind, it's still going to be loud in our corner, but it's going to have that our player is going to have the sense of urgency. I
yeah,
like what I see from like Calamundo, guys like that just always look like they might be a step slow, or they might not be the most talented, but the effort is not questioned. And that's the kind of effort that we need to see this week. There's still a lot to play for here. If we're not shooting for 7th, why are we going out there?
yeah. No, you really have to go and win this match.
100%.
Freiburg, I know that they've got three overall competitions still. They're playing in the Pokal in 2 days. They're playing a Europa League semifinal. Maybe that causes them to slip up, and we do need them to slip up at some point if we want to overtake them, because they're a point ahead of us now. But you can't count on that. Like, you need to go out there and win these games for yourself, and know if we don't get the results, we're not getting 7th place. We're not getting a possibility at Europe. The stakes are very high, and I hope the players understand that. I hope they respond to that and go out and put a good performance, because as good defensively as Augsburg are, as good as Finn Dahmen is in net, they're still a beatable team, and we have the offensive capabilities to win this match. So I just want to see a really solid performance. I assume we're going to have possession of the ball most of the game, and I hope that Chanuzen is out there a long time and able to put his passing ability to the best that he can.
For as much as Riera's goal is to play with a high possession game, I don't know if we necessarily have the guys to do that.
No,
but I think this is the kind of match where Augsburg is probably the kind of side that's going to sit back and let us do that if we want to. Their defensive record is just about as bad as ours. It's not even as bad, but it's pretty bad.
A lot of
They allow
that
a lot
was
of goals.
early season, though. I mean,
Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. But they're still behind us. We're still in a position of authority here where we can assert our game on them if we want to. They still sit back a lot. And I think we can't just become comfortable on the ball. We have to push the ball forward. We've had some success recently with some high pressure and going after the ball, trying to recover it quickly. I want to see that keep up. We never did that under Dino. We sat back a lot and waited for the other team to make the mistake. But in recent weeks, we've done a good job of trying to force those turnovers. I think that's an effective game.
I do really like the press that we've had under Riera. I think it's been nice. The problem is, once we get that possession, how do we break their defensive line? Because a lot of it comes down to whether Calamundo can dribble past their fullbacks or their center backs. And that's where you need some passing in the middle in order to break it. And Chanuzen, in my opinion, is the only player we have who has that ability. So hopefully he's ready to go for a full 90, because I think we're going to need that.
What about a guy like Ansgar Knauf? Speed on the outside.
Yeah, I think his game suits how we've played for the past 4 years or whatever, or even longer, of playing a more counter-attacking style. Like that's where he's shined.
Fair.
I think he's got the ability to play well in our current setup. I don't think we should rely on it and hope that and put all our hopes on Ansgar Knauf. I like him a lot.
So John, in our score prediction league, what should I put on the sheet tomorrow?
I think I'm gonna put a 1-1. But I also swore off ever predicting us to win. So like, take that as you will.
Is that why you do so good? You never pick.
No, I am second last among people who consistently predict. Okay, so
That makes me feel better.
yeah, no, I've been really poor with the predictions this year.
You know that's because you read Build every day and get all your insights.
No, I don't. I hate Build.
Like the New York Post of the soccer world.
It might be even no one can be worse than the New York Post. Yeah, it's bad.
Matt, tell me what you got for this one.
We need a win. I don't have a score prediction.
Give me the vibes prediction.
The vibes prediction that they're going to frustrate us defensively, and Finn Dahlman's going to play a hell of a game against us. You know, man, I don't know. I don't
You
even
guys
know
don't
what
have
to
me
expect.
feeling very good about this.
I don't even know what to expect, like lineup wise. What kind of players are going to throw out there? You know,
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't formation players. Who's going to play? Who's not going to play? I couldn't tell you. I have no idea what to expect. You know,
I think our
we
kids
need a
would
win.
call this situation chopped. Am I doing this right? Because I'm going to show this to my daughter tomorrow, and she's going to be like,
not.
"Dad, you're so dumb. This is why I don't watch you on YouTube."
Yeah, that's going to be a reaction for sure.
Yeah, she's going to cook you.
Yeah.
Well, let me say this. I will be the positive one here and predict a 2-1 victory, because I feel like we have found something that works with just chaos in the box. And I don't know why, but the ball seems to be landing in our favor more times than not, putting it in there like a pinball, like the way it ended up on Larson's head against Leipzig is just. And then there have been a couple other ones recently. I think Larson had a banger from outside the box. It was just a pinball situation. And what?
No, I was going to say Hoyland had that one outside the box, but that might have been a different one you're referencing.
But just that idea that, you know, you put yourself in the box with the ball, some shit might happen. And I think that's something that this team, it doesn't have to be pretty if it's gritty. And I'm fine with that. From this group and what they've had to go through, just get a win. No matter how you do it, that's all we really care about. So you're not going to be positive. I'll be positive for you. We're going to win this one 2-1.
You know, I think also we've got Ebno to believe back. Hopefully he can find some form. I really liked what he brought his first couple games before getting injured. And my Mooney looks really good out there. Like we have,
guys, you know, we're an hour 13 into this. We never mentioned Zetterer's performance against Leipzig. Might have been his best since he joined us.
But
that's
still
easily
amazing.
You think
it could have been 5 or 6.
I don't know
as far as what was put on his plate, he took care of the ones he was supposed to. And you know, a guy dancing around for 13 seconds with the ball, he's gonna get beat there. He's like, you know, JJ Okocha or something, dancing around our entire defense. Like, what do we? I don't know what we can't expect Kevin Trapp out of Zetterer, but also he wasn't bad. And I think that's something we need to look at is how bad these performances could have been with the defense that's in front of him not showing up. The fact that he's made a decent amount of difficult saves recently is progress in net. Or am I totally chopped?
To be fair, like
you're chopped. You're chopped.
Yeah.
To me, that second goal was hard but soft. And then look at the game against Wolfsburg. I mean, we could have been 2-0 down in the first 15 minutes.
From his mistakes, like very
from
much
his mistakes.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
Well, that's why I said the Leipzig match, though. I mean, I feel like that could have been 5 or 6 goals against, to be honest.
I don't think it would have been that bad. And also I know I haven't like seen the stats since Riera's taken over, but both Santos and Zetter were like bottom of the league in terms of expected goals given up. Like it's they both had some just truly awful performances. Is some of that down to the defense? Sure, but neither. Like Zetter has never been a great goaltender. He's been a bang average Bundesliga goaltender at best.
But that's why what I said was that it was his best performance since he joined us. And I think that qualifier right there is kind of important because he wasn't good for the first
I just don't think it says a lot is all I guess in the end.
Yeah.
Because
which goes to a bigger issue of having the right players on your roster.
Yeah, absolutely.
And selling off your goalie the week the season starts.
Okay, well that was on him. Again. That's not on the club.
For sure.
But Kevin Trapp forced himself out. And that
the guy's under contract. I mean, when I sign a contract to do work and I'm expected to do it, don't sign a contract if you're not willing to hear no when you want to leave. I don't know. Different conversation for the offseason, I guess. Gentlemen, it was fun. I'm going to bed because I got a long day tomorrow.
My battery's dying, and we definitely have some off-season topics here that we need to finish up on too.
Yeah,
so.
For sure.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate talking with you guys. For everyone listening, we appreciate you tuning in.
Always a good time.
Follow the show on Instagram, X, Blue Sky, all those different. Are we still on X? I don't know. I deleted that shit.
I don't know.
But
cheers to everyone abroad, right? Happy Earth Day and happy 420 if we're allowed to say that to everyone.
Yeah. Belated
to celebrate.
Gentlemen, it was great. We'll do it again next week.
Cheers. Hell yeah.
Cheers, everyone.
Eintracht Frankfurt, schalalala, hey, Eintracht Frankfurt, schalalala.